Marty, not much time to enjoy the win on Wednesday night against Oxford. I think it's fair to say you did enjoy certainly that third goal. How much enjoyment did you and your squad take from that victory?
Yeah, very much. I think that everybody was really happy. I think perhaps the third goal was the feeling, the final answer to know that we got those 3 points and to be able to celebrate with, in our case, me and Xavi were a bit slow running the sideline, but to be able to celebrate at the end with the fans, and I know how much it meant for the whole group after a bad trend of results in an important day to respond the way we did. I think it was definitely a great feeling, and the day after actually we arrived very late at home. Everybody was quite tired and quite, still in a great mood despite the lack of sleep.
How have you managed training this week? Because even though it was a local away game, the players yourselves were still getting back into your beds in the early hours of Thursday morning with a game on Saturday.
Yeah, but that's the nature of championship, and it's I've been saying many times, it's relentless and you need to be ready for it. So yesterday was pretty much about recovery, trying to make sure that the players are in the best condition for Saturday. Today, preparing the game plan, just trying to be in the pitch to adjust things for tomorrow's game, and that's pretty much it. So we need to understand that the victory last day can help us from emotional point of view, but that there is a new challenge ahead, and the new challenge is called Bristol.
7 points above the drop with 5 games remaining. How do you view that?
You know, I know that's a certain distance, and obviously I'm aware about the feelings that we got over the last weeks. But my target has been always just to focus in the next game and try to win the next game. Obviously now we go into that final 5 games of the season that I've been mentioning all year about. That's the reference, and what I see, and that's what I saw actually before Oxford. A lot of people was texting me, Martí, Luton score in the last minute and this and that. I said, look, we got an opportunity to stretch, to increase 2 points the distance, instead of just always looking down and expect the worst and what a lineup against Oxford and all this. I would like to look in a different way, because we always change about how we can improve as a club, how we can improve as a team, and for me the mindset, the mentality is extremely important. I want to go to these 5 games thinking that we can beat anyone, thinking that we should have a lot of energy to try to push and try to improve the position that we finished last season, and try to get as many points as we can and improve the results that we got last season. So that should be for me the target. So that's why instead of looking what's going there, which is very natural, I'm just focusing on see how we can beat Bristol, on see how we can use this how we can build from the last victory, and try to push as much as we can with our fans, because we have been, I think, quite strong at home lately, and we need to keep pushing.
What have you made of the mindset of your squad this season?
Top mentality, because we have been through a lot, and it's very easy I know that there is a lot of mad and emotional fans after a defeat, and that's the way it must be. But this group has been through a lot, I would say. Very difficult start. It was not easy because we built good momentum at the end of last season, and I think it's going to be time at the end of the season to analyze the whole year. But obviously the start was not the best, and we picked a lot of injuries. Then we got into a moment where slowly we recovered some players, and suddenly the team did so well. So we split the season in three big groups of 15, 16 games, and actually in this middle part of the season we were top 5, top 4 in the league in terms of points. So that shows that this group, perhaps without this amount of adversity, we could have been in totally different position. But the reality is that we are where we are. We have 5 games left. We need to compete, and the resilience, the mentality that these guys is showing makes me feel comfortable that we're gonna try our best.
Bristol City at Mattrade Loftus Road this weekend. They've only lost 1 of their last 10, and they look like they could end up in the playoffs come the end of the season. They're one of the sides that have made a late surge, and they're looking very strong now. What do you make of them?
Well, first of all, that they're in a good moment, as you said. They won the last game in the last minute, and with all the emotions that this provokes, and they have been playing, I would say, good football. The way they play, it's really athletic, really high energy, a lot of regaining, pressing. So we need to make sure that we match this part, and at the same time that we use our strength. So it's not a surprise for me, because they have a good manager, they have a good squad, but the moment they are getting into these last 5 games makes them a dangerous squad.
When you look at how tight it is towards the top end in and around the playoffs, I would imagine they will come to QPR looking for 3 points. It will have to be 3 points in terms of their target. Can you use that against them?
Well, our target as well is to get the 3 points. So I think that it's always about sometimes football as well. I spoke about this mentality. There is a lot of tactics involved in it. There is a lot of, it's true that they got 24 hours more to recover from the last game. At this moment of the season, that can be a part of the way we approach the game. But for me, the most important at the end is the mentality, how we jump into the pitch, with level of, I've been calling urgency, which level of ambition. And in that sense, we should be always the very best in the pitch. So I expect that tomorrow, if there is one team that shows this ambition to get the 3 points, it does, because I don't care about how the table looks. I just want to win the next game.
And in terms of injury news, Sam Field, Kenneth Powell came off on Wednesday night. How are they, and are there any other players who may return?
Yeah, unfortunately, both of them will be missing the game tomorrow. Ken picked a small injury on his hamstring. Luckily, it's a small one, so we hope that he can start to train next week with the group and perhaps be part of the next game against Preston, but he will miss tomorrow's game. And in the case of Sam, very unlucky, because I think he did really well since he came back, and actually he came back quite quick from this ankle injury. He did really well the last 2 games, but unfortunately in the same action he picked both an ankle injury and a concussion on his head. So this concussion will rule him out for the game tomorrow, and we need to assess how he progresses during the next week. Positive is that Michi was training today with the group, and hopefully he can help us during the game tomorrow.
And very finally, in terms of the supporters, what would you like from them? Like you say, it's been a difficult run of form. They certainly enjoyed the win, those that travelled to Oxford. What do you want from them in W12 this weekend?
I want them, hopefully, that we can celebrate us with it against Oxford. I think that the atmosphere that they create here at home is always good, but the way they support the team, especially when Oxford scored the goal and we were struggling a bit those minutes, it was really strong. So happy to try to run a little bit faster this time on the sideline with them and try to celebrate a goal.